I love shooting film. It's engaging, challenging, and there's always the element of surprise when seeing your shots developed. For many years, I've been using the Olympus OM system cameras for my film photography. However, I've recently made the switch to Nikon, specifically the F80. In this video, I'll explain why. Many film purists shoot on film to feel more involved with the process because they allege it's a purer form of photography, and whilst to an extent I agree with that, I also think it's a load of rubbish. I was using the Olympus OM2000 for this exact reason, because it's an all-manual camera, but as a result I found myself not really taking it anywhere with me because I didn't want the hassle of having to think about my exposure and my focus all of the time. Bring in the Nikon F80, a camera that I'd been looking at for quite some time. My wife uses a Nikon D90 as her main camera, and I had been given a Nikon F50 by a friend of mine. I didn't get on with the F50, its button-based nature was unintuitive and unergonomic, with your exposure and controls based on the top of this camera by the LCD screen. But I love shooting with the D90, and the F80 is the perfect blend of the two. Anyone who uses a Nikon DSLR will instantly feel at home on it, mainly because it's the platform which the first Nikon DSLR was based. With a wealth of features including continuous autofocus, a double exposure mode, 3 metering modes and a burst mode, this is a feature-packed camera even by today's standards. Another reason I changed to Nikon is the lens selection. Having managed to purchase a 28-70 f2.8 for £100 before trading in my Olympus gear, and a 50mm 1.8, both of which I can use on my Sony A7 Mark II and the Nikon D90, the switch made a lot of sense for me. This camera hasn't been without its faults, however. Bought untested from eBay for £17, well below the current market value of £50 to £80, I initially had issues where the shutter wouldn't always fire, causing me to miss around 2 shots per roll on the first few rolls. I'm happy to report, however, that this has since disappeared through use, and it has been used a lot since I've had it. This camera is in less than perfect condition appearance-wise, and you can tell it's had a lot of use over its life, but all the functions work perfectly. It's an absolute delight to use. Autofocus is fast and snappy, and I don't even think about battery life, especially when compared to my Sony. Everything just works. It's almost like Nikon have been building and designing cameras for years. In summary, the F80 is a fantastic camera, and very well suited to a DSLR shooter wanting to try their hand at film. Generally starting at around £50, you get a lot for your money, and this is a sound purchase. If you're already in the Nikon system, or like me, shoot mirrorless and adapt Nikon glass regularly, this is a great shout. My name's James Deere, and I hope you found this useful.